Hey, what's going on, you guys? Today, I'm gonna be showing you guys supply and demand, which is really my favorite thing to look for in the market because once I can break down supply and demand zones, I know when to sell or buy. It's truly a blessing just to have this knowledge, and I'm gonna be sharing it with you guys today. Now, first, let me explain to you guys supply and demand within the market. And I'm gonna give you guys an analogy, and hopefully you guys can relate to it, or just understand what I'm saying. So this is how I was taught supply and demand. Let's think of this market is price, right? We all know that this market is price. The green and red, their price, really. Okay, so let's say someone is selling Jordans, right? He has a bunch. Somebody, let's say someone have a bunch of Jordans. Is the price for those Jordans going to be really high, $20,000 a piece, or is it going to be really low to where he can sell them all and still make over $20,000 profit, right? Meaning, if there's a bunch of Jordans, the price isn't going to be too high because everybody can't afford $20,000. You know what I'm saying? You probably only have three buyers, right? Now, let's say that you have four or five Jordans. That's it. Only four or five pairs of Jordans. You're gonna sell them. I mean, yeah, you're gonna sell them for higher the price because you only have four or five, right? So the value increases because now that you only have four or five, you can't sell them all for $20 each and still make $20,000. No, you gotta sell them all for 15, 10,000, however much you gotta sell them just so you can get your profit, right? So that same exact thing implies in this market. Keep in mind, I told you guys that this market that you're looking at is price, right? We're looking at USD JPY, the US dollar versus the Japanese yen. And this is the price of this pair. That's all you guys are seeing. Now, when the price is too high, right? Not that many people's going to be buying it. Can we all agree? And if the price is too low, a bunch of people are going to start buying it, right? So let's look at this. Let's look at this chart. So let's say, and by the way, you guys, this is trade. Not to get off topic. This platform is called TradingView.com. As you guys can see where my mouse is, TradingView.com. I use this to look at my charts. I'm not using MC4 for the moment. I use this to only look at my charts when I do place a trade. I do everything through MetaTrader 4. I only look at this to check out my charts because sometimes it's a little clearer and I love the white background and I love how it looks. So you guys can go on TradingView.com, create you a free profile, and you guys can analyze your charts off of here too. But back to what I was saying. All right, so when you look at this and you look at price, when price is too high, not that many people are buying, right? So this market is buyers or sellers. You only got two options, sell or buy. So this market is buyers or sellers, right? The red are the sellers, the green are the buyers. Now, when price is too high, not that many people are going to buy it. So, for instance, I'm going to give you guys an example. Let's see. Let me zoom out. Okay, so this is price, right? So price is going up, right? The buyers are pushing the price up. Price is going up. Now, when price gets too high, not that many people are going to buy it, right? So if not a lot of people are buying it anymore, the buyers aren't buying it anymore. What's happening? That means the sellers are about to push price down, right? So if the price is too high, not that many people are buying it. If there's no buyers, there's got to be sellers. There's only two options. So price starts to come down. This is known as a supply zone. This is known as a supply zone. Supply zones indicate when price is too high and it's about to start selling, right? So price got so high that then nobody want to buy it anymore. They start to sell it. Sellers start to win, right? And even though it came back up, it's still this supply zone, right? This is a supply zone now. So now that this is the supply zone, this is where it starts to sell. Anytime it gets in this supply zone right here, as you guys can see, where price got this high, this is now our new supply zone. It sold, right? It never really broke past that supply zone. It always stayed in that supply zone. And when it came out, it was a pure sell, right? So price was so high, nobody wanted to buy it anymore, which indicated sell, sell, sell. Boom. And look at this sell right here. Right, guys? It's amazing. It's amazing. So you guys will mark this up as your supply zone. And the same for demand zone, right? I'm going to be showing you guys demand zone. And give me 1 second. Guys, I'm telling you, man, supply and demand, oh my gosh. This, just knowing this alone, this is going to help a bunch of people out. I can tell you off top. This is a demand zone. I thought that would be way longer. You guys, I can tell you off top that this is going to be a demand zone. Guys, give me a second. This is acting up. I might have to move to MetaTrader 4. Sorry about that, you guys. Doing some work on this pair earlier. Alright, so as you guys can see, when price got too high, nobody wanted to buy it anymore, so the sellers started to take over, right? Now, the reason why I say this is going to be a key demand zone is because as you guys can see, price is dropping, right? Price is dropping. So if the price is too low, right? Let's say somebody wants to sell Jordans, a pair of Jordans to you right now for $15. A bunch of people are going to want to buy those Jordans because the price is low, right? Makes sense. Price is low, a bunch of people want to start buying. So when price starts getting low, because this is price, keep in mind this is price of USDJPY. This is the price. So when price got high, a bunch of people, they didn't want to buy it anymore, right? Price was too high. They're like, nah, price too high, man. I don't see no value. So it starts selling. Nobody's buying it, it's selling, right? So price is getting lower. Prices have to become lower, right? So price gets too low, people are going to start to buy it, right? And it proved right here. It showed it once. Right? Because price started to come back down. And just as soon as it came back down, people was like, oh, you know what? They started to buy it again, you know? So, and then it comes back to a point right here. It aligned perfectly, right? Also, you guys, this is a demand zone, right? But this is a demand zone because when price got this low, it automatically shot up. Always indicates a sell. When price gets to that level, when price gets so high, and it hits that supply zone, that's a sell, as you guys see right here, right? When price gets so high, anytime price is going to get in this supply zone, it's going to sell. It's going to sell. I can almost guarantee it. It's going to sell. Now, only way you will see price break a supply or a demand zone is a long candle, a very long candle. That is the only way, right? Now, and what I mean by that is a very long candle has to break supply and demand zone. As you guys can see right here, right? It was in the supply zone. And what broke it out of that zone? A long candle. And it made it sell. So the same way if it was going to break this zone, it would have to be a long candle, a long green candle, right? Makes sense? So, oh yeah, and another fun thing, you guys, just a fun fact, rewarding the people who got this far with the training. If you're on TradingView, you guys can click right here. You guys see where my mouse is, where you see the candles. You guys can click here and go to Heiken Ashi. Heiken Ashi. I think that's how you pronounce it. And it did something cool to you guys' candles. Now you see how my candles look? Guys, this indicator is very powerful. This is the only indicator I use personally. This indicator, it shows the true trend for the moment. Whereas, when it's regular candles, it's green, red, green, red, green, red, green, red, green, red, right? With this indicator, Heikin-Ashi, when it's green, it'll be showing you guys it's green the whole time. No red candles in there. So it shows you the true trend. So let's say like you're right here, right? This candle is right here, but you see it's red, right? You see it's a long red candle. It's almost telling you the true trend now is gonna be a red is gonna be a sell, right? A sell trend. So you almost can get in for a sell. Obviously you still want to do your technical analysis and see where the next support and resistance are before you do that. But 9 times out of 10, this went to the next support zone, which is awesome. So, or this created the new support zone, and it created the new support zone. So now when this turned back red, it went back to the support zone. Every time it turned back red, it went to that support zone. And like I said, you guys, this is a demand zone. So when it turned back red, it went to this demand zone, touched it perfectly. You see the wick. And as you guys see, the true trend for it was a buy. So it started to buy. So I love Hakanashi just because it shows me the true trend and it shows me what the trend is doing for the moment. Whether that's on a 15-minute chart, it's also the same way. I'll show you guys on the 15-minute chart. Also, when you mark up supply and demand zones, you guys want to mark them up on higher time frames, right? You guys only want to look at the 15-minute chart for entries, right? If you do any marking up support, resistance, supply and demand trends, guys, look at the hour 1, hour 4, and the daily time frames. Do not try to trade off just small time frames. You will get tricked out a lot. If you look at it and you mark it up on a higher time frame, then you can look at a smaller time frame just for a good entry, and you can catch way more pips, guys. I'm telling you, it's not about trading a lot. It's about waiting for that one setup and then just trading that one setup, right? Makes sense. So as you guys can see right now on the 15-minute chart, the Heikin-Ashi, it's showing the true trend is red, right? We got this marked up as the demand zone back there. So it's showing the true trend is red. As y'all can see, it's still pushing it down. So Heikin-Ashi is truly a blessing. I'm gonna show you guys regular candles real quick, just to show you the difference. Alright, so now you guys see the difference, how it's green, right? And it's like green, red, green, red. It keeps changing. But when it was Heikin-Ashi, it was just, this was all green, right? So you could have got in for a buy with no scares. This was all red. All of this is red right now. So that's the thing about Heikin-Ashi. Now, what I was saying, you guys, with the demand zone, once you have the demand zone spotted, you could almost wait for price to get in that zone, wait for price to hit that level, and then you guys want to trade that level. And then you guys want to trade it. So you're going to wait for price to come back down here before you try to trade this demand zone. But knowing this is a demand zone, you can trade it. Now, obviously, there's never a guarantee within the markets, but 9 times out of 10, the market has rules, and the market is going to comply to those rules, just like laws in life. So just knowing this supply and demand zone, just know the market has rules. So it's either going to break this supply and demand zone or it's going to respect it. And all you do is you just wait for it to respect or either break it. Break the rule or respect it. That's all you wait for. If it breaks, of course, you continue to sell, right? If it breaks, anytime it breaks support or resistance, it's going to continue in that direction. But first, before it continues, it's going to it's going to find a new support or resistance. Make sense? So, and the reason why I'm talking about support and resistance in this video is because supply and demand is just support and resistance, but it's like a stronger support and resistance. So you know how many lines we drew up of support and resistance. Once you have supply and demand zones, you know you can just trade off of that, because it's like, okay, once it hits this demand zone, it's gonna buy. Once it hits the supply zone, it's gonna sell, right? So give you guys a quick example. Let's say this was support right here. Let's say this was support, right? Boom. And when price broke this support, it's going to come back up and find a new resistance level, right? Which is right here. So even though it broke it, like I said, it's going to continue in that direction. So price continued to go down. It's going to come back up to find a new resistance level. Makes sense? Before it continues that trend down. So guys, that's what I look for with supply and demand zones. Once price gets too high, look for a common supply zone. As you guys can see, I have my supply zone marked up here up top. Every time price got in its zone, it dropped, right? Same for demand zones, right? I got my demand zone marked up. You get your demand zone marked up. As soon as price hits that demand zone, it's gonna buy, right? So guys, this is a great indicator. Just using these two, supply and demand, you guys can find some good trades. Now on my next video, I'm going to be showing you guys confluence trading, which is trading using all these strategies that I just showed you and putting them into one, so that you can, you know, really take advantage of the market. Because now that you know support and resistance, now that you know supply and demand, and now that you know how to find a trend, I'm going to show you guys how to use those to actually find and place a trade, right? So I'll see you guys on the next video.